There's something special about taking something old and giving it new life. On this episode, I'll show you how I took a vintage butcher block that's seen its fair share of kitchen battles, and today we're turning it into something completely custom, a barbecue cutting board, engraved by hand and built to last another lifetime. Let's get started. I found this old butcher block at a thrift store. It was solid maple, scarred, stained, and just begging for a second chance. You can tell it's been through decades of good meals and sharp knives. Before cleaning up the surface, I wanted to lock in the design. I created a few different options and built it around a barbecue theme. Once the final design was chosen, I printed it full size and pieced it together to fit perfectly across the board. To hold the paper in place, I used spray adhesive, but learn from my mistake. Don't spray the wood directly. Only spray the back of the paper. It'll stick just fine and save you an hour of cleanup trying to get the adhesive off the surface later. Instead of using a CNC, I went completely old school, engraving it by hand with a palm router. Every letter, every curve, every line was carved manually. It takes a steady hand and a lot of patience, but there's something raw and personal about hand engraving wood this way. I like using a paper template because it allows me to see and follow the lines much easier. It also avoids having to spend more time on using other transfer techniques. Once the engraving was complete, it was time to bring this old wood back to life. That spray adhesive put up a fight. I went through 4 80 grit sanding discs just to remove that residue and get back down to clean wood. After that, I worked my way through 120 and 220 grit. You can't rush this part. The wood would tell you when it's ready. To clean up any small blemishes or fuzz left behind from the engraving, I went in with the chisel and a bit of fine sandpaper. Just enough to crisp up the lines and keep everything looking clean. I made the #1 recording mistake and didn't turn the camera on for this next part. But here's what you missed. I used a torch to lightly burn the BBQ letters, giving them a darker, more rustic contrast. Then I finished with one last sanding pass using 320 grit paper to smooth everything out before applying the finish. I used my go-to blend of mineral oil and beeswax, food safe and simple. The maple drank it up, and that hand-routed engraving just popped. What started out as a worn-out kitchen relic is now a fully customized barbecue cutting board. Durable, personal, and ready for another generation of use. The smile on my friend's face made all the work on this project worth it. Before you toss out that old cutting board, take another look. There might be a story worth saving, and a project worth bringing back to life. If you enjoyed this transformation, click right here to watch how I took the top from an old dresser and turned it into another custom wood project that's just as personal. As always, thanks for watching and happy building.